Hi, this week I just wanted to go over some information about reading and working with your students, especially in the small groups that you're going to be working with. So, one of the things that we really want to do is we want to strive for independence. A lot of times we over scaffold, we over help students, and we never really give them the time to struggle and to work independently. They're always either, especially our struggling readers, they're always with the teacher, always receiving help. So one of the things is you think about your lessons and how do you get them to be independent? How do they use it independently? A lot of times when they're sitting with you, they can do the strategy, they can do it, but how can you help them build it into their independence? So every time they pick up a book, they're using that strategy. So you can be thinking about that. One of the ways to really think about it is to, you kind of scaffold it. Prior to, we used to have where it's I do, we do, you do. And now they've kind of revamped that in education and it's I do. So you as the teacher model it. You're teaching it, you're demonstrating it. One of the most powerful things is when you're demonstrating a lesson, you do it on a book that they know. So I use my read alouds. Those are I call them my mentor texts because I use them for all of the strategies. I refer back to them no matter when in the year I can use them. And sometimes I read a book specifically so I know I have that book for teaching the strategy. So you want to make sure that they know the strategy or know the text because it helps it when they're learning it and understanding it. You want to make sure that it's a common one because if they have no basis for the text, then the strategy won't be as meaningful for them. And then it's the we do. So when you're doing a group or you're teaching a kid a strategy, you're going to teach the same strategy for multiple days. And so on Monday or day one of it, you would do it, you would model it, you would show how they could do it in the common book. The second day, you're kind of doing it together. You're having them participate some, you're talking about it, you're seeing how it is that they can help assist you with it, giving you information. They may tell you about it and then they don't. Then the next day is the you do it together. And that is having them teach it to somebody else or talk to a partner. If you have a small group, they can talk to a partner, teach it to them, be able to explain it, and make sure that they can explain it to someone else. Then they kind of really understand it. And then the last one is you're doing it alone. And how can you see that they're doing it independently? So like day 4, they really want to be able to do it independently. If at any point, like on day 3, you're like, they're still not getting it, that's not a good strategy for them. Then you would need to go back, look at their running record, look at their assessment, and choose a different strategy. They're just not ready for that strategy. So really be thinking, how is it that I can get them to independence? That's our ultimate goal, is that they can do it independently and hold them accountable for it. When I confer with students, when I talk with them about what they're reading, I ask them, can you show me where you were using that strategy? Can you show me how you were using that? Where do you have evidence? Can you show me it? Can you model it for me? And have that conversation. If they're not, then okay, now take this next minute to please go find a spot, show me this, and then I'll be back to check in with you. The other thing this week I wanted to talk to you about is if you, in the non-required book, but this book that I highly recommend, Jennifer Saravallo has this hierarchy. And it kind of talks about, it kind of helps put into perspective what skills they need first. And so in the newer books, it's color-coded, and the color coding matches the colors of the strategy, which is very helpful. But if you noticed in mine, mine's all blue. I got it one of the first ones. And so it kind of flows with how kids learn to read in the reading process. So it goes through like your emergent reading, your engagement, your print work, your fluency. And they need to be solid in that before you get to comprehension. And then as we go through, we'll be learning more in the class about the comprehension. And then it flows down in these, you need to learn these things first before you get there. So a lot of times teachers will focus on comprehension right from the beginning or fluency. But if they're not getting their print work and they're not getting those aspects, none of that is going to stick and you're going to be kind of spinning the wheels. So really look through, are they an emergent reader? Do they have the engagement? Do they have the print work? Even if they're a high reader, if they may be missing some of those, which then would lead to them not being able to comprehend and be able to talk about the book and have a conversation or write about it. So it really does flow. So as you're reading with your student and doing your running record, think about, do they have print work problems? Are there parts of the words? Do they know their high frequency words? Things like that, and it'll flow in a kind of an order as you think about that. So as you think this week, we're just really looking at focusing on the emergent reader. That is somebody that's just beginning. Do they have those skills? And as you're looking and learning about what is an emergent reader, you're going to be determining, do they have those? And those are a lot of skills that some kids come naturally, and some that have not been around books a lot may not have. And so those are still skills that you're really going to want to make sure that they understand, because it all builds together. So as you're working and thinking about it this week, think about kids that you've worked with in the past that maybe that's why. Think about kids now that you may be working with. Do they have something that is with their emergent or their engagement? Engagement's a huge one, and she has some really good strategies. Or think of some strategies. How can you get kids engaged with reading? Because we know they have to enjoy what they're reading and want to read those to really read and gain those skills. So as you're working this week, if you have questions, if you need some assistance with the running records that you're doing, please reach out, ask for help, get clarification on any of that. Have a great day.